Hi everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Your Edmonton Electrician. Here at Hauer Power Electrical, we're all about customer service, and in these videos, this is how we show that we bring customer service back to the trades. In today's video, we wanted to talk to you today about service upgrades. 60 amp service upgrade, 70 amp service upgrade. If you're at 100 amps and you want to stay at 100 amps, or if you want to go up with a service ampacity upgrade up to 200 amps, we're here to talk to you about today about everything service upgrades. So myself, I'm Ryan. I'm the founder here at Hauer Power Electric, and it's my job to keep all of our workers busy and working productively and safely. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you guys today. As far as safety goes, if you have an old Federal Pacific panel, it's got those old black style of breakers, you may want to change those out. They are known to be a fire hazard, and after doing some research on it, it's more common in the United States, but here in Canada, we also have the issue of breakers that fail to break the circuit. The whole job of a circuit breaker is to protect the wire in that circuit. And with these old Federal Pacific breakers that most homes have, I know my home had it, and a lot of the homes that we work on have it, but if those circuit breakers don't trip, and maybe you have a microwave and a toaster, maybe a space heater too, if you have a whole bunch of different stuff going on one circuit and you're drawing more than say 15 amps on a 15 amp rated circuit, well, that wire is only rated for 15 amps. So if you get it too hot, then you're going to have a fire. And that's why we want to reach out to our customers and clients and future clients and say, hey, if you have a panel and it is a Federal Pacific panel, get an electrician in there to have an estimate, give you an idea of what it's going to cost to get rid of that fire hazard, because you don't want that in your home. Those breakers, they might trip, but they might not trip. And on average, the failure rate is high as 70 to 80%. And you might be wondering, where those facts come from? Dr. Ehrenstein, he did some research on this, and again, it's more common in the States. Like I said, your panels might be just fine, but again, they might not. So Dr. Ehrenstein, he researched the Federal Pacific panels there, and he estimates that an annual 2,800 fires, 13 deaths, and $40 million in property damage occur every year at a declining rate due to these Federal Pacific electrical circuit breakers. So if you go down to your panel, you might see a variety of different brands if you have an older home. They might be Commander, it might be Sylvania, it might be Westinghouse or General Electric. Those are all some old brands of breakers that aren't being made anymore. But if it does say Federal Pacific, then you want to call an electrician right away, have them look at that. If you do have breakers that are tripping, that's good. That means the breakers are doing their job. Will they do it next week? Who knows? But the more often a breaker will trip, the closer it will become to failing. The brands that are still good, that are still around, that are still in production are like Siemens, Eaton, Square D, Cutler Hammer. Those brands are all in production. They're still pretty reliable panels. We always stock Siemens, and that's what we like to replace for all of our customers. Siemens has been around for a very long time, and their breakers are quality, and when we function test all of our equipment, they never seem to fail. So they're a pretty reliable brand. But again, coming back to your panels, why you might be looking for a service upgrade is if you have some renovation plans. Say you're planning a kitchen renovation, you're going to need more circuits added to your existing kitchen in order to pass certain current codes. Current electrical code is a lot different than if your home was built in the 80s or the 60s. The code requirements for your kitchen are not going to be the same, and you're going to need more circuits, which means that your panel is going to need to expand. And if you don't have any spaces available in your panel, then you have two options. Option A, install a sub panel and swap some circuits over. And option B, get a whole new panel with a whole lot more space. And so if you already have a Federal Pacific panel, then the choice is obvious. Don't go with a sub panel because you're just adding to an existing problem. Get rid of that old Federal Pacific circuit breaker panel and get yourself a service upgrade. That's what we do here at Hauer Power. Give us a call, get a free estimate for a service upgrade. We're always happy to serve Edmonton and greater area for service upgrades. We come out, takes us about 15 minutes. We'll go through your home with a free home walkthrough, safety inspection. We'll let you know, oh, here's what this switch does here, here's what this plug does, kind of thing, and we'll test a lot of your stuff, see if there's any problems, and then give you the estimates if you'd like to proceed. We're electricians first. We're not salespeople here. We just want to give you the best bang for your buck and get rid of the fire hazards that may be lurking in your home. So again, back to the service upgrades. Another common misconception that we often hear is that your old panel, your old Federal Pacific panel, or however old your service may be, if it's from the 60s, people think, oh, well, it's okay, I can just grandfather it in, take out the old panel, put in the new panel, and that's good. No, that's not good, because there's so many different code violations now that if your service is not up to snuff, then it must be brought up to code. So if you have one of those 6-inch round meter sockets and you're wanting to change out your panel, well, not only does your panel have to go, but that 6-inch round meter socket has to go. And if that cable is degraded whatsoever, going up to either your overhead service or your underground service, either way, if that cable is degraded whatsoever, that's going to be needed to be replaced, as well as your ground. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, most homes had a number 8 gauge wire, ground wire, whether insulated with green insulation or bare copper. They had a number 8 gauge going back to your water meter or a ground plate or a grounding rod, a grounding electrode of some sort. But today's code, it has to be number 6 gauge. And you might think, oh, number 8, that should be bigger than number 6 because the number's bigger. No, with wires, it's backwards. So keep that in mind. If you have a service upgrade estimate, the electrician, if he comes to your house and he doesn't bother to look at your grounding system, either bring it up or inquire about it when they give you the pricing. Because a lot of guys, they'll give you a real bottom line price, but then they'll come back and they'll say, oh, actually we forgot, we have to upgrade your ground, and we have to bond your gas line, and we have to bond your hot water line over to your gas line and over to your main ground. And you'll say, wow, shouldn't you have seen that before? Well, no, if you went with the cheapest one, they probably aren't going to show you that. As with anything, you get what you pay for. So if you find a service upgrade and they can come in and they'll say that they can do it for $2,000, that's pretty bottom of the barrel. They're probably cutting corners somewhere. Maybe they're using aluminum wiring. Maybe they're not counting in your ground. Maybe they're looking to reuse some existing stock. Regardless, get a few estimates, get 3 estimates, or just get 1 estimate from us. But at the end of the day, you want to know what's all included in your estimate. If it's going to be copper or aluminum wiring for your service, if it's going to be an upgraded meter socket, if they're going to give you a size of panel that's maybe just going to be enough that you're going to be stuck with the same problem where you don't have enough spaces, that's another main concern. If they're giving you a panel that's just covering what you need, they're just cutting the corners there. Also, if you have a really old home, you may only have a 2-wire scenario running in your walls. You may have an ungrounded system, in which case all those ungrounded circuits that do not have a ground wire, they're going to need a ground fault circuit breaker installed in order to protect your home or business. It doesn't matter what you have going on there, but if you only have 2 wires and it's an ungrounded system, they're going to have to open up that panel and have a look at your wiring. And if it is ungrounded, they're going to have to add ground fault breakers for every ungrounded circuit, which can get very costly. The old Federal breakers, Federal Pioneer, not Federal Pacific, but Federal Pioneer breakers run $100 to $200 for a ground fault breaker. It gets pretty costly, especially if you have 8 or more circuits. And if they didn't account for that, and then they come back and show you the new change order cost, you're going to be in a rough spot then. If you prepare for one cost and then they give you another one, that's not fair to you. But at the end of the day, if you do have a Federal Pacific panel, get one of our electricians to come have a look at it. We'd love to give you a free estimate. Edmonton and greater area will come out, have a look, give you that free estimate, and we'll give you a free electrical walkthrough as well. Like we were saying, we'll go through your home, have a look at what's going on there, and give you the estimates. As right now, we have a promotion going on for all new residential paying customers. We'll give you a free USB style outlet installed on any existing receptacle. That's just one more way that we provide customer service here at Hauer Power Electrical. So in conclusion, give us a call, 780-935-0622. Shoot us an email at info@hauerpower.ca or visit our website at hauerpower.ca. Stay tuned, guys, and we'll keep you in the loop with more news about the service upgrades. Take care. Bye-bye.